What's up travellers, SJ Aviation HQ here, welcome back to another video here for the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the Korean Airlines Boeing 777-300ER by Gemini Jets. This model here arrived a few weeks ago now and I'm excited to be doing the model review for it. So this model here was released by Gemini Jets during the December 2021/January 2022 release, right at the beginning of the year. And I was very happy to see it was released, and I again happy to be doing the model review of it today. So before we go ahead and do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel below if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, welcome to the channel, and also done that bell icon next to it so you don't miss out on any future videos. So before we go ahead and check out the box we can see in front of you, as usual I'm going to be reading out the information about the airline and some information about the aircraft and a little bit of history about this aircraft as well. So founded in June of 1962 as Korean Airlines and commencing operations in March 1969, Korean Air is the largest airline and flag carrier of South Korea, and is headquartered in Seoul, South Korea, in their hubs at Seoul's Incheon and Gimpo international airports. According to the popular aviation website planesplitters.net, Korean Air has an aircraft fleet consisting of 154 aircraft, including 53 Boeing 777s, which include 12 777-200ERs, I believe, 4 777-300 stock 300s, so not the ERs, 25 of the 777-300ERs, and 12 of the Boeing 777 freighters, with an average fleet age of 10.9 years. Along with Delta Airlines, Aeromexico, and Air France, Korean Air became a founding member of the SkyTeam Alliance, the world's third airline alliance, which was formed on June the 22nd of the year 2000. So going into some information about this aircraft, or this airframe in general, the MEC number of this aircraft is 37136. This aircraft line number is 823, which means this particular aircraft or airframe was the 823rd 777 to roll out at Boeing. This aircraft was built as a Boeing 777-300ER, specifically a 3 Bravo 5 ER, because Bravo 5 is the Boeing designated code for aircraft that are registered under a Korean airline, Korean registration, sorry. And when the aircraft is registered or initially delivered to a Korean-based airline, the prefix code is going to be Bravo 5. So, example, Korean Air have the 787-9 as an example. So even though the aircraft is known as a 787-9, the aircraft specifically is a 787-9 Bravo 5, even though the aircraft is specifically called a 787-9. And another example is that the airline has Boeing 737, so they have the 737-800 and the 900, so it'll be 8 Bravo 5 and 9 Bravo 5, even though it is known as a Boeing 737-800 or 900. So this aircraft performed its first flight on October the 15th, 2009. As of today, the day as of recording, this aircraft is 12.3 years old. This aircraft was built and produced at Everett's Plainfield out near Seattle, Washington, and this airframe is currently active, which means it's currently operating on passenger services or charter services and not grounded like many aircraft around the world. So the registration of the model that we're looking at today, as I mentioned, of the model, is Hotel Lima 7784. As of today, this aircraft is currently registered as Victor Papa Bravo Juliet Romeo. For those that are unsure why it is under a different registration, I'll go into detail about that in a minute. So again, this aircraft is a Boeing 777-300, specifically a 3 Bravo 5 ER. This aircraft was delivered to Korean Airlines on October 27, 2009, and is currently operating for Norwind Airlines out of Russia, and was delivered to that airline on January the 5th of 2022, so this year. This aircraft is equipped with 2 General Electric GE90-115 Bravo engines, and this aircraft was ferried between Plainfield and Incheon Airport for Korean Air on October the 27th and the 28th of 2009 for its delivery flight, and then was delivered to Northwind Airlines through between Incheon Airport and I believe Antalya in Turkey between the 5th and the 6th of January 2022 on the delivery flight to that airline. So I believe it is leased to Northwind Airlines, or I actually think, when I looked at the information of this aircraft on planesbuilders.net, that's where I get my information. I do highly recommend getting the information from that website. Is up to date. I saw that this aircraft, I don't, when I say it leased, I don't think it is leased. I think that the aircraft no longer operates for Korean Airlines, which is quite a shame, because this aircraft was actually released during the time that the aircraft ended up being phased out, I believe, to Northwind Airlines, which is a shame because this model is a great model, and it's in the current livery. Of course, Korean Air recently, or Korean Airlines, if you call it that way, recently announced a new livery, or recently announced that they're going to be revising the current livery. So this livery you see on the box here, to a new one, which is I mean that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what the livery looks like. It also is kind of a shame that the model was released at a time when that was also being announced. But I'm not going to get rid of the model. I think this is quite a nice one. Finally, Gemini Jets comes out and releases the Korean Air 777-300ER in this mould. Of course, it is the JC Wings mould, which I'll be showing you in a moment. But without further ado, now that I've gone through the information about the aircraft and the airline, let's go ahead and check out this box. So as you can see, it is a pretty typical Gemini Jets box. Here we have the Gemini Jets logo in the top left corner, and here we have in the top right corner the "Made for Collectors by Collectors." That's one of the trademark slogans for Gemini Jets, so you'll see some more on the back. Here is the 2D rendering of this aircraft, the Korean Air or Korean Airlines 777-300ER. Very, very nice. There is the aircraft type I think it's the Boeing font, and here is the Korean Air logo. Here is what the scale of the aircraft, 1:4 scale die-cast model aircraft, and here is the look inside tab. So if we just popped up the tab just a little bit there, we can see where the model would be sitting. And just here, if I can get it in shot somewhat, you can see some information on the top here of the 777 in general, and there is some information about this particular aircraft. I've pretty much read most of it out, and there is some diagrams there of the aircraft. Of course, this is in the imperial measurement, so this is in feet and inches. So that's very, very nice. So on the bottom panel here, we can see the Gemini Jets logo on the left hand side. And on the right hand side, we can see the information about what Gemini Jets do: highly collectible, superior quality, realistic metal landing gear, detailed printed graphics, and as well as it gets features. That is also a slogan for Gemini Jets. Here is the Gemini Jets logo again, and the item number GJKAL2040. Of course, if that was read out in the phonetic alphabet, that would be Golf Juliet Kilo Alpha Lima 2040. Of course, Kilo Alpha Lima is the ICAO code for Korean Air or Korean Airlines. And here on the the right hand side, we have the Korean Air 777 at the top, and then we have what the aircraft type is. On the very top panel, we have the Gemini Jets logo, a little bit of warranty information, and an age limit, I guess, and the barcode with the item number on it. And the right panel is pretty much similar to the left panel. So this is the left panel, so it is identical to the right panel. And on the back, we have the aircraft climbing at a very steep angle, very, very cool. And then we have the Gemini Jets logo. And here is the as well as a get slogan for the Gemini Jets company, and there's some information about what they do. I think Gemini Jets has gotten better in some degree over the last couple of years. For some, most of you will probably disagree with that. Here is the social media handles for Gemini Jets, the website, Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter. I support them on all of them. So go ahead and do so yourself if you haven't done it already. And there is the licensing for the 777 and Boeing, and of course this is a officially licensed product by Boeing. The aircraft was made in China, and it was as it says here, it was released in 2021. Of course, it was released in December, but the December it was known as the December/January release in general. I believe that was because of the slowness of the releases due to the shipping crisis over in the US, particularly in the California region. Not sure if that has been fixed or subsided in somewhat. I'm not based in the US, so I wouldn't know. So now that we've done the showcasing of the box and the reading out of the information of this airline and the aircraft, let's go ahead and check out the model. And here is the absolutely stunning Korean Air Boeing 777-300ER by Gemini Jets. Doesn't it look amazing? In this part of the video, I'm going to be doing the model review of the aircraft, so going from left to right. But of course, this aircraft here was released by Gemini Jets in the December 2021 and January 2022 release. And I received this model here on February 8th of this year, so a matter of weeks ago, almost a month ago now. And here it is in front of you, absolutely beautiful. So again, I'm going to be doing the model review of this aircraft from left to right, from nose to tail, showing the different aspects of the aircraft and giving you some nice information along the way. So let's go ahead and start the review. So pointing the camera at the front of the aircraft first and foremost, just going to put this in a shot. There we go. Here we have the nose cone of the aircraft. Underneath that would be the component on board the aircraft called the weather radar. That basically provides the pilots on board the aircraft whether there's any ominous weather in front of them, so they can make a decision whether they concede on the flight plan that they have made up, or whether to divert around any ominous weather cells in the area. So that's basically what the weather radar is for. Above that we can see the copper windows just here, the window panes, and below that we can see the window wipers. Here we have the SkyTeam logo. Of course, Korean Air or Korean Airlines was a founding member alongside Delta, Air France, and Air Mexico, which formed on July the 22nd of the year 2000. Here we have in China, not Chinese, sorry, that is Korean. I believe this says Korean Air. I believe it says Korean Air. Do let me know in the comment section below what this actually says in the Korean language here. Below the aircraft here, we can just make out the nose gear door with the number 784. That is the last 3 digits of the registration. Of course, the registration is Hotel Lima 7784. And below the gear door, we can see the actual nose gear itself. Here we have the L1 boarding door. This is one of the 2 boarding doors on this aircraft. As you can see, the L2 door is located just under the A of the word Korean, just here, and between that would be the first lot of cabin windows. I believe that is the first class part of the aircraft, and then it goes business class behind there. They're at premium economy and then economy. Here we have the Korean Air billboard titles. Of course, this airline is specifically known as Korean Airlines, but it is stylized and branded as Korean Air. I've seen many Korean Air aircraft in my time. I saw the MD-11 many years ago up in Christchurch, where I was born in. And I've managed to see the 747-400 as well, and the 777-300ER, and of course my most recent visit to Christchurch, I saw in terms of seeing this aircraft, or Korean aircraft. I saw the 777-300ER, so I actually think it's quite fitting that I managed to get one in my collection. So going into the the engine part, or the midsection, but before we go ahead and do that, here is the anti-collision beacon, just here, and here is the first antenna on top of the fuselage. Just on the inside of the wing here, we can make out the landing light that is used during landing, of course, and of course it's more predominantly seen during the night operations, but it is also used during the day operations. Of course, it helps with whether there's like low visibility, able to see the aircraft, where the aircraft is. Here is the this side's GE90 engine. This is the world's second largest jet engine, of course. Only second only to the GE9X, which is used to power the 777-9X. If you want to go ahead and check out the model review I did of the Boeing Sunrise livery on the 777-9X by JC Wings, go ahead and check out the top right corner. There will be the card leading to that video right about now. Here we have the GE90 engine just here, and this you can just make out there is the yin yang logo of the Korean Air. Can you make it out just here on the O of Korean Air? Of course, it will be very interesting to see how they interpret the yin yang logo on the new livery when it is unveiled. I think it will be unveiled on either a 787 or a 777. It may even be unveiled on an A330 or one of the narrow bodies. Most likely the A320-300. It would be pretty cool to see. Or maybe one their brand new 737 MAX 8. That would be pretty cool to see. In the bottom right corner, we can just make out behind the exhaust of the GE90, just make out the triple bogey of the landing gear of the 777. So showing you down the wing just here, and more predominantly focusing on the wingtip here, you just make out the red navigation light just there, and the right wingtip as a whole just there. That is one of the two main differences to identify whether that aircraft is a -300 or a -300ER in terms of the variants of the 777. Of course, the ICAO code or the IATA code of the 777-300ER, IATA code is 77 Whiskey, and the ICAO code is Bravo 77 Whiskey. The whiskey or the W in those two codes is to represent the word wingtip. Of course, that is representing this wingtip just here. Of course, the ICAO code and IATA code of the 777-300 IATA code is 773, and the ICAO code is Bravo 773 to identify that it is not a 777-300ER. And of course, the other differences of the two variants is, of course, the 777-300ER has the GE90 engine or the GE90 engine in general, depending on if it's longer range or shorter range, and the stock 300 model has the Rolls-Royce Trents. So that they are basically differences on terms of the variants, to let you guys know whether it is a 300 or a 300ER. So showing you the wing in more detail, just here in the center, you can just make out the L3 door that is used as a door for emergency exits. And in the event of an emergency, you can just make out just here where the passengers would be leaving the aircraft in the event of an emergency, especially if the aircraft is in water. Showing you the rear of the aircraft, you can just make out just here near the center of the shot, at the end of the point of the L4 door, that is also used during the event of an emergency. But of course, that is this basically has one of those slides you can see in emergencies, and that is used when the aircraft has an emergency on the ground. Just at the top of the frame, just here, we can just make out the SATCOM or the Wi-Fi dome that is used to provide the IFE on board the aircraft, the in-flight entertainment, which can be seen on board the aircraft behind each seat, or more basically in front of the view of where the passengers are sitting. And you can just make out, if we can get the tail fin in the shot, you can just make out just here the second antenna on top of the fuselage, and followed behind the second, the last one on top of the fuselage, that is. Focusing on it now, we can just make out the Boeing 777-300ER Boeing font titles in blue, and followed behind the L5 door, which is predominantly used as a catering door than anything else, because the galley of the aircraft is mainly around here on board the aircraft. And finally, just going to zoom out and locate the camera up a little bit, and here is the tail fin of the aircraft, or the rear of the fuselage. Here is the vertical fin, otherwise known as the tail fin, or otherwise known as the tail. Here is the leading edge of the tail fin, and here is the sky blue base of the tail fin itself. Here is the registration of the aircraft, Hotel Lima 7784. Here is the Yin Yang logo, the famous Yin Yang logo, which is sometimes compared to the Pepsi logo. Of course, Korean Air is also known as Pepsi Airlines. As a nickname, or like a meme type name. You can kind of see the similarities between the two logos. I guess that will also be a good thing about this upcoming revised livery. They won't look the same or similar, so then it'll be easier to identify what the logos and who they belong to. And at the top of the vertical fin, you can make out the flag of South Korea, otherwise known as the Republic of Korea. Here is the horizontal stabilizer of this aircraft, and you can just make out the leading edge just there, and you can make out the logo lights just there. They are some components on board the aircraft that help to illuminate light on the tail fin in night operations, to show the ATC where the aircraft is, what airline it is, potentially what aircraft it is. That they should have the aircraft type on their panel in front of them. Anyway, to be able to tell what aircraft it is. And it's also a marketing tool for people that are nearby an airport, or in the vicinity of an airport, aka the terminal, to let them know what airline it is. And here is the APU of the aircraft, the auxiliary power unit, and the nice looking prongs of the end of the fuselage just there. And there is the actual exhaust hole of the APU. On the other side, if I can just tilt the aircraft around just like that, you can just make out the other side with the logo lights just there in the middle of the shot. Very, very cool. And just turning the model around, just showing you the differences in terms of this side. At the front, you can just make out one of the differences. Here is the forward baggage compartment, the cargo door, and moving down to the rear of the aircraft, you can just make out just here is the rear baggage compartment, and just there is the another additional baggage compartment. And looking at the right wingtip again, but on this side of the aircraft, you can just make out that this side is a green navigation light opposed to the red on the other side. And this side's GE90 is the number, I think it's the number 2 engine. Other side is the number 1 engine. That's another difference. And of course, these doors on this side of the aircraft are known as the R1, R2, R3, R4, and R5. Of course, the letter R is symbolizing the word right, and of course the letter L is symbolizing the word at left. Of course, left and right of the aircraft. And just going to show you now some details of the bottom of the aircraft, so do bear with me. I'm going to pick up the aircraft and show you the underside. So here we have some nice details of the aircraft. Just going to show you like this, if I can get it to focus. there is the nose gear door where the aircraft's gears would fold into after the event of taking off. And here is the forward baggage compartment just there. Some nice details of the GE90 just there. There is the beacon light and the stand hole just there, and some air vents following that. Just there is the landing gear doors. There's not that much detail showing you where they are. There is the landing gear itself. I'll show you a side view of that soon. There is a nice underside shot of the wing and showing you the nice details of the flaps and slats. Just there you can make out the red rectangle just there in the center of the shot. If I can just zoom in, that's better. That's a better view of it. You can make out the ram where the rat would be, the ram air turbine. That's that little propeller you can see hanging down during the aircraft's testing. There is the Gemini Jets logo, and there's the rear baggage compartment and the other one following it, and nice details of the handle of the cabin door or the cargo door. And there is the entryway of the APU. Just going to show you the beacon light again, and underside of the engine. The side's wing has the registration on it, Hotel Lima 7784, and that's very, very cool. And just to show you the side view of the engine, very cool. And then there's that side's engine, very, very nice. And then here is the landing gear. Of course, this mold has the landing gear tilting. Very, very cool, and they do roll. As you can see, the little wheels are turning as I'm showing you them. And here is the nose gear door, nose wheel. Very, very cool. And you can just make out the mold of the aircraft. This mold is absolutely perfect. This is my favourite mold of the 777. Probably on par with the Aviation 400 mold. The only difference between Aviation 400, they have the little dual beacon light, which would be just there and there. If you want to go ahead and check out the most recent model review, which was of the Air New Zealand 777-300ER by Aviation 400, there will be a card in the top right corner, or you can wait until the end of the video, which there will be it will be on the left hand side as the video is concluding. And now that basically concludes the model review of this aircraft, the Korean Air or Korean Airlines 777-300ER by Gemini Jets. This model here is absolutely perfect. If you haven't got it already, do get it. If you're situated in Korea, or you have an airport which this airline or this aircraft operates to, either Australia, the US, Canada, the UK, etc. I definitely highly recommend getting this model. Of course, if you just want to wait until Gemini Jets maybe releases the new livery, once it is unveiled, I would agree and understand you waiting for it. But I do highly recommend getting this aircraft here. It's a beautiful mold. Soon enough, there will be the model review on the channel of the LATAM Brazil 777-300ER in the same mold, but in the Star Wars Galaxy Edge liveries coming up very soon. So do stay tuned for that. If you want to see that, if you want to be notified when that drops, do subscribe to the channel below and ding the bell icon next to it so you don't miss out on any future videos. So soon enough, I'm going to be going through my social handles, so you can come along and join me on them. So if you want to come along and join me on Instagram, I have my airport account, I have a livery designs account, and also have the Infinite Flight account. So what I do on the airport account is I basically show all the images and videos of the newly arrived models, and basically everything in terms of my network to Australia International Airport. You can see the airport bit in the background. If you want to come along and join me there, come along and join live streams, participate in polls on my story feeds. The first link in the social area below. Below that will be the livery designs account. That's where I showcase all the concept livery designs I make on Photoshop. If you want to go ahead and check that out, that would be the second social link. And below that will be the account of which I showcase the photos and videos of my ventures on Infinite Flight. I'm a grade 4 pilot on Infinite Flight at the moment. I am quite busy on there, flying around the world. If you want to go ahead and join me on there and support me on there, that's where you need to go. The third link is where you should go. Below that is the Facebook page and the Twitter page of my Astro Productions brand. Astro Productions is basically the one brand of or the major brand of what I do on YouTube and Instagram. Whether it is my my airport, my YouTube channel, Facebook and Twitter. That's basically where I showcase everything in one place. If you want to go ahead and support me on there, the links will be below the Instagram links. And if you want to come along and join a Discord server, the Global Aviation Alliance are all about aviation. A great bunch of people on there that are massive enthusiasts of aviation. What we do on there is we basically talk about models, our favourite liveries, our favourite aircraft, everything. Want to come and join a great community, then join the Discord server. Let me know in my contact me via my Instagram, my airport account, via my DMs or the direct messages, and I'll then pass you along to one of the 4 admins. Another link in the socials area below will be the link leading you to the official website of Astro International Airport. We'll throw out a disclaimer just now. Make sure if you want the utmost professional viewing of the website, view it via a laptop or a PC. At the moment, the website is not compatible for a mobile device. So if you want to go and check that out, the link will be in the description below. I do highly recommend checking it out. It took a long time for me to officially complete the website, and I am currently in the process of doing some little bits of updates of the bits and bobs on the website. So do stay tuned for updates on my story feeds of my airport account. If you want all the up-to-date news, check me out on Instagram, the first link in the description below. And soon enough, in the near future, I'm working on launching my Patreon account in terms of Astro Productions. That's where you'll be able to support me on all of what I do in terms of model collecting and the processing of this YouTube channel. So thank you very much for coming along to the model review of the Korean Air or Korean Airlines 777-300ER by Gemini Jets. Hopefully you enjoyed what you have seen in this video. If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you enjoyed and what potentially I could work on. I would love to hear your feedback below. And if you did enjoy the video and you haven't done so already, subscribe if you're new, or haven't done it already, and turn the bell icon next to it so you don't miss out on any future videos. I've got a great bunch of videos coming up soon, so stick around and stay tuned. So on the left hand side, soon enough, will be that model review of the Black Beauty 777 in New Zealand by Aviation 400. On the right hand side, soon enough, will be the full playlist of model reviews I've done so far on the channel. In the middle is where you can subscribe. But until next time, fly safe, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.